Welcome back. As part of celebrations for Business Month, the International Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, is partnering with the St. Lucia Chamber of Commerce to dialogue on the agriculture, food, private sector to foster business and trading opportunities. ICA's International Specialist for Agribusiness and Value Chains, Alistair Green, says it's a multifaceted affair.
We are targeting private sector, agri-food players, people who are involved in transportation, logistics, anyone who thinks they have capacity to export and to expand their business. We will be looking at primarily some of the opportunities through the European Union via the Economic Partnership Agreement. We'd want to share some of the activities that are taking place under the EPA. We'd want to hear from private sector, what are the challenges? Why aren't businesses taking advantage of this Economic Partnership Agreement? Besides the European Union, we want to focus a bit also on the UK. Given that Brexit has just occurred, what implications will be for us within the region? We also want to look at some of the opportunities within our CARICOM region. ICA has recently completed a study where we looked at some trade flows within the region, and we want to present some viable opportunities for businesses, given that there's a thrust, a drive for import substitution in the region. So we want to invite businesses.
The activity will also look at various trade barriers which may exist.
We want to look at some strategies and recommendations for removing and hurdling those barriers. And again, the private sector needs to be aware of that and to partner with us to move these things forward. Besides the non-tariff barriers, there are also challenges with transportation. And again, we want to point out some strategies, recommendations that can really benefit the private sector to allow them to have more movement of their goods across the region.
The activity takes place at the Orchid Center in Union on the 15th of November from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. The Minister for Agriculture has concluded a technical mission to Taiwan. He says with the help of Taiwanese partners, the ministry will implement technologies meant to boost the agricultural sector. There are a number of programs that are ongoing between the ministry and the Taiwanese. Come January 2019, a new import substitution program will commence with the help of Taiwan.
I'm sure you are aware that it's not the first time that we are interacting as it pertains to agriculture and exchanging programs and policy and getting support from the government of Taiwan, because in 2008 we signed a memorandum of understanding between the Ministry of Agriculture in St. Lucia and the government of Taiwan as it pertains to a number of programs that they committed themselves to give support to. So the trip was more or less following up on that memorandum of understanding, and again to get an appreciation as to the new technologies that have been developed over the past 10 years, and for us to be able to see how we can adopt this technology as it's going to support our agricultural development.
Meanwhile, the minister announced that discussions have also taken place with regard to the relocation of the meat processing facility in the south. The facility had to be relocated as part of plans to facilitate the DSH project. Minister Joseph says a way forward has been determined with funding coming from DSH.
We have had discussions with the embassy, and I want to inform the general public, and especially our livestock farmers, is that we have identified a new location as it pertains to constructing a new facility, and the investors has agreed to fund the construction of that new facility. So what we are doing now is going for the designs and doing the costings and to get the necessary DCA approvals so we can commence that new facility as early as possible.
Global Entrepreneurship Week kicked off this week under the theme GEW Youth. Speaking with lead team member Agnella Joseph, she explained the impact that the RBC launch of Global Entrepreneurship Week Entrepreneurs Speed Networking Forum would have on aspiring entrepreneurs.
The Entrepreneurs Forum, a room with over 30 entrepreneurs, business persons, professionals in the various fields of IT, HR. You have entrepreneurs themselves that have been in the business for over 30 years. We've got marketing personnel on hand. And these startups and young and aspiring entrepreneurs get an opportunity to engage and discuss pertinent issues which is relevant to their business. Okay? So these persons may not or probably never get an opportunity to meet with these professionals. Okay, so instead of reinventing the wheel, they've got this chance whereby they can sit, have a one-on-one, within that time, exchange their business cards, okay, make a connection so that they can help their business grow.
You're watching the Hot 7 Nightly News. Coming up, the sports news with Tennyson Glasgow.